Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith. Today, I'm talking about Beastmaker by James V. Smith Jr., published by Dell Horror. This is the first book in my spooky season reading block. I don't know what I should call it. Voted on by like 5 people. So this is the first of 7, possibly more, depending on how quickly I read through them, of these sort of paperbacks from hell, late 80s, early 90s, with one exception. Kinds of books. And as I said, Beastmaker, James V. Smith Jr. And the nutshell is you got a beast, it's killing people, you got a Vietnam veteran helicopter pilot trying to stop it. Do you really need to know more about it? If that doesn't grab your attention and that cover, I don't know what will. And that's actually, this is Fort Hood, is what that, the beast isn't actually that big. It's not a kaiju. It's a representative, not literal photo or picture. Not a photo, but I love that picture. Oh, look at that thing. Anyway, for the too long didn't watch folks, I gave this 4 out of 5. Didn't know how much I was going to enjoy it when I started it. I was like, where are we going with this? What's happening? But man, once I got going, I tore through this. And this book starts with a cold open, something horrific happening. I'm not going to tell you what it is. That's not what I'm here for. And that's followed by some mysterious figures discussing what we just read. So right off the bat, we've got mysterious conspiracy going on. Could be just a secret organization, could be the government, we don't know. And then we get into the main crux of the story. We meet our main character, who is Captain Mark Payne. So as I said, he is an ex-Vietnam chopper pilot who actually had retired from the military and then came back to active duty. And he's at Fort Hood, and he's a drunk and just a really not a likable character when we first meet him. But there is a nice character arc to him in the story. He's going to be our hero. Is he going to stay an unlikable hero? Is he going to become a better person? Who knows? It's 382 pages. A lot could happen. So, yeah, we have this monster. Eventually, this monster, and it's killing animals and it's killing people. And, some authorities don't want to believe it. Captain Mark Payne is such a kind of douchebag that he keeps butting heads with his superiors, and they're keeping him from doing what he feels needs to be done, and all sorts of stuff going on, but lots of monster mayhem. Eventually, it's, for the first part of the book, it's a little scarce, the monster mayhem, but eventually it picks up, but that's okay because Mr. V. Smith Jr., James V. Smith Jr., I think does a pretty good job. He gives us the characters, he builds them up. This isn't Joe Lansdale levels of character development, but there is character there, and there's a lot of characters. There were a few. There's a point where we're introduced to a whole bunch of different new characters, whole bunch being relative, and then we don't see them for a little while. So there were points where I was, okay, which one is this? Okay, now I got it. I know who we're talking about now. There's some good twists and turns going on here. There's something that I essentially didn't get until 30 seconds, 30 words, less than 30, it was less than 30 sentences. I mean, right before this sort of thing was revealed, I was like, ah, I got it. Doesn't make me feel that smart when it's that close to the reveal. Um, but it's the writing is fine. The characters are interesting. There's nothing wrong with having a douchey character, and it can make for a more interesting read if there's someone you generally wouldn't root for. Uh, there's a point. I don't think this is a spoiler. At least I wouldn't necessarily consider it a spoiler, and that's what I have to go on. There's a point where Payne basically has to go to rehab. Something happens on the base, and it's either go to rehab for 3 or 4 weeks, however long it is, or you're stuck with a staff job. You're not going to fly anymore. You're going to be doing paperwork, sitting at a desk, whatever. He decides to go to rehab. As soon as he gets out, he's off with his buddy drinking again. So that's the kind of character we've got. But he's not a bad character to read, if you know what I'm saying. I'm kind of all over the place here, trying to avoid any details, as usual. But I think it's a finely written story that moves along at a decent pace. Once I got to a certain point, 30, 40 pages in, I didn't want to put it down. I wanted to get to that crazy monster slaughtering mayhem and see where the character of Captain Mark Payne was going. And he's got this, there's a new recruit who's an attractive woman. And I felt for a little while, oh, this feels forced, this relationship between the two of them. But then I was on board. Don't know if I should have been, but I was. Your mileage may vary. But anyway, I really liked this once I get into it, once things started happening. I love the shadowy organization aspect of things. That's something I enjoy in stories. And if you watched the video where I asked people to vote, or the video where I tallied the votes, all 7 of them, there is a sequel to this. So we may learn even more about this shadowy organization. I haven't bothered to read the back of that book since I made the voting video where I read the backs of all the books. And I don't remember what it said. So, I mean, the Beast is going to be back or in some form or another. But I don't remember anything else about what the back of that book said. But yeah, so I love shadow organizations, especially if it's the government doing these sort of nasty experiments and stuff. That's why I love things like Firestarter and the Institute and the Fury. I like the dirty government dealings with something outside the realm of the natural world. So that might add to why contribute to the 4 stars that I gave this book. Beastmaker, James V. Smith Jr., 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It's good, trashy, late 80s fun. What is the copyright? 88 is what I'm seeing here. And this is what I want for my spooky 2024 season reading. So there you have it. Question for this video. I don't know because I didn't think ahead. You know what? No question for this video. Recess. Take a day off. But of course, comments are open. If you have any comments, questions, corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. Try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronan5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. On Blue Sky, I am @EL Smith. That's all I have for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.